Welcome to our e-learning video on global logistics and supply chain management. In today's interconnected world, businesses increasingly operate on a global scale, requiring sophisticated approaches to managing the flow of goods, information, and finances across international borders. Global logistics and supply chain management refers to the planning, implementation, and control of the forward and reverse flow of goods, services, and related information between points of origin and consumption across international borders. This comprehensive approach encompasses all activities related to sourcing, procurement, conversion, and logistics management, including coordination with channel partners worldwide. The primary objective is to satisfy customer requirements while maximizing overall value generated. This involves optimizing costs, time, and quality throughout the entire supply chain network, spanning multiple countries and regions. Key components of global logistics and supply chain management include global sourcing and procurement involves identifying, evaluating, and contracting with suppliers worldwide to obtain necessary materials, components, or finished products. Global sourcing strategies aim to leverage cost advantages, access unique resources, and diversify supply bases. International transportation manages the movement of goods across borders using various modes of transport. This component deals with route optimization, carrier selection, customs clearance, and compliance with international trade regulations. Global inventory management balances inventory levels across international locations to meet customer demand while minimizing holding costs through forecasting, safety stock determination, and inventory positioning strategies. Global warehousing and distribution handles the storage and movement of goods through international warehouse networks, focusing on facility location decisions, layout optimization, and order fulfillment processes. Reverse logistics manages the return flow of goods from customers back to manufacturers or disposal facilities across international boundaries, including product returns, repairs, and recycling processes. Supply chain. Visibility and information systems implement technologies providing real-time visibility and data exchange across global networks, including track and trace capabilities and supply chain analytics. Risk management identifies, assesses, and mitigates risks associated with global operations, such as political instability, currency fluctuations, and natural disasters. Sustainability and compliance ensures operations adhere to environmental regulations, ethical standards, and corporate social responsibility initiatives across different countries. Several key factors distinguish global supply chains from domestic operations. Global supply chains involve greater complexity with more stakeholders, longer lead times, and more intricate networks. Technology infrastructure disparities across countries can affect information flow and process integration, and political and economic risks like geopolitical tensions and trade disputes have greater impact on global operations. Environmental considerations also increase, as global logistics often have larger carbon footprints due to long-distance transportation. The importance of effective global logistics and supply chain management includes cost optimization through global sourcing opportunities and network optimization, market expansion by reaching customers worldwide, and competitive advantage through superior supply chain capabilities that enable faster market response. In this part, we continue Section 1, Definition and Scope of Global Logistics and Supply Chain Management. As businesses continue expanding globally, mastering global logistics and supply chain management becomes increasingly critical for long-term success in the international marketplace. To effectively manage global logistics and supply chains, organizations must develop strategic approaches aligned with their overall business objectives. Let's explore key strategies for optimizing global supply chain operations, network design, and optimization. A crucial first step is designing and continuously optimizing your global supply chain network. This involves strategic decisions about facility locations, capacity planning, transportation mode selection, inventory positioning, and tax considerations. When determining facility locations, companies must consider proximity to suppliers and customers, labor costs, and transportation infrastructure. For example, an electronics manufacturer might locate production in Southeast Asia for lower labor costs while establishing regional distribution centers in Europe and North America, using a mix of air and sea freight based on product value and time sensitivity. Global sourcing strategies. Effective global sourcing is critical for supply chain success. Organizations must develop strategies to identify, evaluate, and engage with suppliers worldwide to secure the optimal combination of cost, quality, and reliability. Key elements include supplier diversification across regions to mitigate risks, leveraging cost advantages in developing countries while managing quality risks, developing strategic partnerships with key suppliers, balancing local versus global sourcing, and implementing robust supplier performance management systems. Demand-driven supply chain management. In today's volatile global markets, organizations are increasingly adopting demand-driven approaches that align the entire supply chain with real-time customer demand rather than relying solely on forecasts. This strategy employs demand sensing using advanced analytics to detect market changes quickly, postponement strategies that delay product differentiation until the latest possible point, agile manufacturing systems that adapt rapidly to changes, collaborative planning with customers and suppliers, and continuous inventory optimization based on real-time signals. Risk management and resilience. Given the complexity of global supply chains, robust risk management strategies and resilience building are crucial for long-term success. Key elements include systematic risk identification across geopolitical, economic, environmental, and operational domains, detailed supply chain mapping including sub-tier suppliers, scenario planning with contingency plans for various disruptions, supplier risk assessment and monitoring, comprehensive business continuity planning, and strong cybersecurity measures. A pharmaceutical company might maintain redundant suppliers for critical raw materials, establish alternative transportation routes, and implement advanced track and trace technologies to ensure supply chain continuity and regulatory compliance. Sustainability and ethical supply chain management. As environmental and social concerns gain prominence, organizations must integrate sustainability into their global supply chain strategies. This includes carbon footprint reduction through transportation optimization and energy efficiency, circular economy initiatives that minimize waste, ethical sourcing practices, ensuring suppliers adhere to labor and environmental standards, transparency systems providing end-to-end visibility, sustainable packaging solutions, and stakeholder engagement across the supply chain ecosystem. A global food company might implement sustainable sourcing for agricultural ingredients, invest in renewable energy for manufacturing facilities, and partner with logistics providers to transition to low-emission transportation. Technology and digitalization strategies. Leveraging advanced technologies is essential for optimizing global operations in today's environment. Key technology strategies include IoT integration for real-time tracking, artificial intelligence for demand forecasting and optimization, blockchain for transparency and security, advanced analytics for data-driven decisions, cloud-based platforms for collaboration, robotic process automation for routine tasks, and digital twin technology for simulation and optimization. An e-commerce company might implement AI-powered demand forecasting, use IoT sensors for real-time inventory tracking across fulfillment centers, and leverage blockchain for high-value product authentication. Talent management and collaborative ecosystems. Success in global supply chain management also depends on people and partnerships. Organizations should focus on developing cross-cultural competence, technical expertise, change management skills, continuous learning programs, global talent mobility, and strong communication capabilities. Additionally, building collaborative supply chain ecosystems through strategic alliances, open innovation, industry consortia, shared infrastructure, cross-industry partnerships, and community engagement can drive significant value. By implementing these strategic approaches, organizations can build resilient, efficient, and competitive global supply chains that drive business success in the modern global economy. Operating globally requires understanding the cultural and political factors that significantly impact logistics and supply chain operations. Let's explore these considerations and strategies for addressing them. Cultural factors. Different communication styles across cultures can profoundly affect business operations. High-context cultures like Japan and China rely heavily on implied meaning and context, while low-context cultures like the United States and Germany prefer direct, explicit communication. Time orientation varies significantly between cultures. Monochronic cultures like Germany and the United States focus on one task at a time with strict schedules, while polychronic cultures in Latin America and the Middle East are more flexible with time and often handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Some cultures prioritize short-term results while others focus on long-term relationships. Companies should build flexibility into schedules and processes to accommodate these differences when setting deadlines and expectations. Organizational structures and decision-making processes vary across cultures. Organizations should adapt leadership styles to suit local cultural norms and prepare for potentially longer decision processes in consensus-oriented cultures. The importance of relationship building varies widely. Task-oriented cultures prioritize getting down to business quickly, while relationship-oriented cultures place higher value on personal connections before business discussions. Gift-giving practices and expectations also vary significantly between cultures. Companies should invest time in relationship-building activities when working with cultures that prioritize personal connections and understand local customs regarding business etiquette. Cultural attitudes toward risk also impact supply chain strategies. Cultures with high uncertainty avoidance like Japan and Germany prefer stability and detailed planning, while those with lower uncertainty avoidance like the United States may be more comfortable with ambiguity and risk-taking. Organizations should adapt risk management approaches to align with local cultural norms, providing more detailed plans when working with high uncertainty avoidance cultures. Political factors. International trade agreements significantly impact cross-border flows. Free trade agreements can reduce or eliminate tariffs, while regional economic integrations like the EU or ASEAN facilitate easier movement of goods within regions. Companies should stay informed about existing and emerging trade agreements and adjust supply chain networks to leverage preferential arrangements. Governments may impose tariffs or non-tariff barriers to protect domestic industries. These include import duties, quotas, embargoes, sanctions, and technical barriers to trade. Organizations should continuously monitor changes in tariff structures and trade barriers and consider strategies like local sourcing or production to mitigate high tariffs. Government regulations vary widely between countries, affecting product standards, labor laws, and environmental requirements. Different countries may have varying safety, quality, or environmental standards, while labor regulations regarding working hours, minimum wage, and worker safety impact operational practices. Companies must develop comprehensive understanding of regulatory requirements in each operating country and implement robust compliance management systems. Political stability and risk vary significantly across regions. Disruptions. Intellectual property protection levels differ between countries. Patent and trademark laws vary significantly, as does the effectiveness of enforcement. Companies should implement robust IP protection strategies, carefully select manufacturing locations and partners, and consider using technologies like blockchain for enhanced traceability. Government currency policies can impact international transactions. Some countries manipulate exchange rates affecting import-export competitiveness, while currency controls may restrict movement of funds. Organizations should implement effective currency risk management strategies like hedging or local currency pricing, and consider establishing local entities in countries with strict currency controls. Government infrastructure investments significantly impact logistics capabilities. The quality of transportation infrastructure and digital networks affects costs and lead times. Companies should consider government infrastructure plans when making long-term network decisions and engage with local authorities to advocate for improvements benefiting supply chain operations. Successfully navigating these complex cultural and political factors requires developing cultural intelligence, building flexible supply chain strategies, establishing strong local partnerships, implementing robust risk management processes, staying informed about political developments, and engaging in scenario planning to prepare for potential shifts in the business environment. Designing an effective global logistics and supply chain network is a critical strategic decision that significantly impacts competitiveness, cost structure, and customer service capabilities. Let's explore the key considerations for optimizing global network design. Strategic objectives and trade-offs. Before diving into specifics, organizations must establish clear strategic objectives and understand the inherent trade-offs involved. These include balancing cost against service level, efficiency versus responsiveness, centralization versus decentralization, and standardization versus localization. Companies should clearly define and prioritize these objectives based on their overall business strategy, competitive positioning, and customer requirements. Network configuration. The physical layout of the supply chain network is fundamental to global logistics design. Key elements include facility location decisions for manufacturing plants and distribution centers, defining the role and capacity of each facility, establishing transportation links between locations, and determining inventory positioning throughout the network. Organizations can use analytical tools like center of gravity analysis to determine optimal facility locations, mathematical optimization models to evaluate network configurations, and simulation modeling to test different scenarios under various conditions. Demand and supply analysis. Understanding patterns and characteristics of demand and supply across different markets is crucial for effective network design. This includes developing accurate forecasts for different products and markets, accounting for seasonal fluctuations and market-specific variations, analyzing supply capacity and constraints, and considering procurement, production, and transportation lead times. Companies should implement advanced forecasting techniques and demand sensing technologies while developing deep understanding of supply, capabilities, and constraints to inform network design decisions. Cost analysis. A comprehensive understanding of costs across the global network is essential for optimization. Key cost elements include manufacturing costs, labor, materials, overhead, in different locations, transportation costs for various modes and routes, inventory holding costs across locations, facility costs in different countries, and tax and duty implications. Organizations should develop detailed cost models capturing all relevant elements across the global network to evaluate different configurations and identify optimization opportunities. Risk assessment and mitigation. Global supply chain networks face various risks that must be considered in design. Key risk factors include geopolitical risks like political instability or trade disputes, natural disasters that could disrupt operations, economic risks such as currency fluctuations, and supply chain disruptions from supplier bankruptcies or transportation issues. Companies should incorporate risk assessment into the network design process, use scenario planning to evaluate network resilience under different conditions, and build in appropriate diversification, redundancy, and flexibility to mitigate identified risks. Technology and information systems. Technology plays a crucial role in enabling and optimizing global networks. Key considerations include implementing visibility systems, providing real-time information across the network, leveraging data analytics for optimization, incorporating automation technologies in facilities, and ensuring robust data connectivity between all network nodes. Organizations should design networks with clear technology roadmaps, considering how emerging technologies like IoT, AI, and blockchain can enhance performance and capabilities. Sustainability considerations. As sustainability becomes increasingly important, it must be factored into network design decisions. Key factors include the carbon footprint of transportation and facility operations, opportunities for renewable energy in facilities, designing networks, facilitating circular economy principles, and incorporating sustainability criteria into supplier selection. Companies should integrate sustainability metrics into the network design process and consider using tools like life cycle assessment to evaluate environmental impacts of different configurations. Regulatory compliance. Ensuring compliance with international regulations is crucial in global network design. This includes understanding trade regulations, environmental standards, labor laws, and product safety requirements across all operating jurisdictions. Organizations must develop comprehensive understanding of regulatory requirements in all relevant locations and design networks, ensuring compliance while maintaining operational efficiency. Network design should be viewed as an ongoing process of optimization rather than a one-time exercise. By continuously evaluating and refining their global networks, companies can ensure they remain agile and responsive to changing business conditions, creating resilient and efficient supply chains that drive competitive advantage in the global marketplace. This completes Section 4, Global Logistics and Supply Chain Network Design. In today's volatile global environment, effective risk management has become critical for successful logistics and supply chain operations. Let's explore the types of risks faced by global supply chains and strategies for managing them. Types of global logistics and supply chain risks. Global supply chains face diverse risks that can disrupt operations and impact performance. Supply risks include supplier bankruptcy or financial instability, quality issues or product recalls, capacity constraints, and intellectual property theft. Demand risks involve volatility and forecasting errors, sudden changes in customer preferences, loss of key customers, and product obsolescence. Operational risks encompass equipment failures, IT system failures or cyber attacks, labor disputes, and quality control issues. Environmental risks include natural disasters like earthquakes and floods, climate change impacts, and health crises like pandemics. Geopolitical risks involve political instability, trade wars or sanctions, terrorism or civil unrest, and regulatory changes. Financial risks include currency fluctuations, interest rate changes, economic downturns, and credit risks. Reputational risks arise from negative publicity, ethical violations in the supply chain, and product safety concerns. Risk identification and assessment. Developing systematic approaches to identifying and assessing risks is crucial for effective management. Supply chain mapping creates detailed visualizations of the entire supply chain, including Tier 2 and Tier 3 suppliers, to identify vulnerabilities. Risk assessment matrices evaluate the likelihood and potential impact of various risks to prioritize mitigation efforts. Scenario planning develops what-if analyses to understand potential impacts of different risk events. Data analytics leverages advanced tools to identify patterns and potential risk indicators in supply chain data. Stakeholder engagement involves suppliers, customers, and other partners to gather insights on potential risks. External monitoring continuously tracks geopolitical events, economic indicators, and industry trends for early warning signs. Risk mitigation strategies. Once risks are identified and assessed, organizations must implement effective mitigation strategies. Diversification reduces vulnerability through multiple sourcing options and spreading operations across different regions to limit exposure to localized risks. Flexibility and agility involve developing capabilities to quickly switch production between locations and implementing adaptable logistics strategies that can respond to disruptions. Redundancy includes maintaining buffer inventory for critical components and establishing backup production or distribution facilities in different locations. Collaboration and visibility requires working closely with suppliers to improve transparency and implementing systems for real-time information sharing across the supply chain. Financial risk management employs currency hedging instruments to protect against fluctuations and appropriate insurance coverage for various supply chain risks. Technology solutions utilize predictive analytics to forecast potential disruptions and blockchain technology to enhance transparency and traceability. Business continuity planning. Comprehensive business continuity plans are essential for managing major disruptions. Effective plans include thorough risk assessment, identifying critical functions and threats, impact analysis, determining potential effects on various operations, detailed recovery strategies for maintaining critical operations, and regular testing to ensure effectiveness. Crisis management. Despite best mitigation efforts, crises can still occur, making effective crisis management crucial. Organizations should establish cross-functional crisis response teams, develop clear communication protocols for stakeholders, create frameworks for rapid decision-making during emergencies, and ensure necessary resources can be quickly mobilized when needed. Building resilience. Beyond risk mitigation, organizations should focus on building overall supply chain resilience. This involves designing networks with built-in redundancy and flexibility, fostering cultures of risk awareness and adaptability, implementing processes for continuous learning from past disruptions, and encouraging innovation in supply chain processes to enhance adaptability. Continuous monitoring. Risk management requires ongoing vigilance through developing key risk indicators, providing early warnings, conducting periodic reassessments of the risk landscape, implementing regular audits, ensuring compliance with risk management policies, and establishing feedback mechanisms to incorporate lessons learned. Effective risk management not only helps prevent and mitigate disruptions, but can become a source of competitive advantage. Organizations excelling in managing global supply chain risks can respond more quickly to market changes, maintain more stable operations, and build stronger relationships with customers and suppliers. As the global business landscape continues evolving, risk management strategies must evolve as well. Staying ahead of emerging risks, leveraging new technologies, and fostering risk-aware cultures will be key to successfully managing global logistics and supply chain risks in the future. Technology and innovation are transforming global logistics and supply chain management, creating new possibilities for efficiency, visibility, and customer service. Let's explore key technologies reshaping global supply chains: Internet of Things, IoT, and connected devices. IoT is revolutionizing supply chain visibility by connecting devices and assets across global networks. Real-time tracking through IoT sensors provides accurate location and condition information for shipments. Connected equipment enables predictive maintenance before failures occur, while IoT-enabled containers automatically track inventory levels and trigger replenishment. Environmental sensors monitor conditions for sensitive goods throughout transit. These applications enhance visibility across the supply chain, improve asset utilization, reduce losses, and enable more accurate and timely decision-making. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI and ML, are transforming planning, forecasting, and decision-making processes. AI algorithms analyze vast datasets to produce more accurate demand forecasts, while machine learning models optimize transportation routes in real time, considering multiple factors. AI-powered systems automate complex planning processes, and ML models identify potential supply chain risks before they materialize. These capabilities deliver more accurate planning and forecasting, improved operational efficiency, and enhanced risk management. Blockchain technology. Blockchain enhances transparency, traceability, and security in global supply chains. It provides immutable records of product journeys through the supply chain, enables automated smart contracts that streamline transactions, helps combat counterfeit goods through verifiable authenticity, and facilitates secure sharing of sensitive information among partners. These applications increase trust and transparency in transactions, reduce fraud and counterfeiting, and streamline contract execution. Robotics and automation. Robotics and automation are transforming warehousing, manufacturing, and logistics operations. Robotic systems automate picking, packing, and sorting in warehouses, while autonomous vehicles and drones revolutionize transportation and last-mile delivery. Collaborative robots work alongside humans to enhance productivity, and AI-powered systems expedite customs clearance processes. These technologies increase operational efficiency and productivity, reduce labor costs and human error, and enhance operational flexibility. Advanced analytics and big data. The ability to analyze vast amounts of data provides unprecedented insights for decision-making. Advanced analytics deliver end-to-end visibility across complex global supply chains, while predictive analytics anticipate disruptions or opportunities. Analytics identify inefficiencies and improvement opportunities, and customer data analysis drives more responsive supply chain strategies. These capabilities enable more informed decision-making, improved ability to anticipate and respond to changes, and enhanced customer service. Cloud computing and software as a service. Cloud-based solutions enable more flexible, scalable, and collaborative supply chain management. These solutions increase flexibility and scalability, enhance collaboration among partners, and reduce IT infrastructure costs. 3D printing and additive manufacturing. 3D printing creates new possibilities for on-demand production and customization. On-demand printing of spare parts reduces inventory costs and lead times, enables cost-effective production of customized products, accelerates product development through rapid prototyping, and allows localized production that reduces transportation needs. These capabilities reduce inventory costs, increase customization options, and create more localized and responsive supply chains. Emerging technologies. Additional innovations. Reshaping global supply chains include augmented and virtual reality improving warehouse operations and training, 5G networks enabling faster real-time communication and supporting more connected devices, and edge computing allowing faster data processing closer to its source. As technology continues advancing, organizations need comprehensive digital strategies, appropriate skills and capabilities, and cultures of innovation to effectively leverage these technologies. The most successful companies will integrate these innovations to create more agile, resilient, and customer-centric global supply chains in an increasingly digital marketplace.